So I go upstairs to ask Mom if she wants to do a happy hour, because that's like jokingly what we call the short videos. And she looks at me and she goes, at home or somewhere else? No, short video.
I thought you were talking about a happy hour later.
We could do that too.
No, we have to be home tonight.
Right.
There's baseball game.
Okay, so anyway, we're here for a short video, mostly just to laugh at Prince William for like however long this goes, because he is getting absolutely roasted on Twitter, and it's funny.
It is funny.
You have to talk louder.
I'm sorry, I'll talk louder.
Look at the waves. Look at the waves.
Okay, thank you.
So say what you said upstairs. Why is this the
I
thing?
don't understand why this is the thing he decided to just wade on into.
I think he wants attention and he doesn't know how to get it. Because he can't talk about racism anymore. He can't talk about... There's a whole lot of stuff that he's kind of boxed himself in by being an idiot.
Yes, but it's incredibly funny to me. On top, let's even forget the climate effect stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole issue with, like, rich people wasting their money of going into space.
Yeah.
And having someone who's incredibly wealthy complain about, like...
Other rich people?
Other rich people. And, I mean, I guess I don't know. It just is... It's bizarre to me. Like... I mean, first you're going to attack the rich guys. It seems to me like that's better coming from a place of not someone who could, probably, if he wanted to, find the funding to go into space.
Yeah.
And I just don't get that he's some big climate champion either. So I don't understand the whole thing.
I think because I honestly, I don't think he has a thing. There just doesn't seem to be anything that he's actually passionate about. Whereas, I mean, Prince Charles is a climate hypocrite too.
Right.
But you can tell he has a passion for it.
Yes.
You can tell that he's stupid about it, but like, that's something he's been passionate about since like the 60s.
Right.
And I feel like there is nothing that Prince William is actually passionate about. So all of this just comes off as a performance.
Yes. And everybody, we're all climate hypocrites.
But there's different degrees.
Yes.
There's different degrees.
I think within our sphere of, like, what we can afford to do, we're pretty much equally climate hypocrites. Because if we were rich, we'd have the access to more private jets, although I would never take a helicopter because I was convinced they're unsafe and would crash well before the whole Kobe Bryant thing. So, but anyway, I wouldn't get in a helicopter because of my own paranoia. But, I mean, we get on regular airplanes when we could take some other form of transportation. We order things from a little company called Amazon with some frequency that's hypocritical on a number of levels. So, I mean, it's almost like the hypocrisy of it doesn't bother me as much as why? I mean, there's so many other things going on in the world that are probably, like, more important than billionaires going into space, which is ridiculous and stupid and a waste of money and all kinds of things I could talk about. But if I was going to pick one issue to, like, get out in the public about and try and use my clout, of which I have none, but he has...
You have clout, Mom.
He presumably has some.
Yeah.
Why would this be the thing? I just don't get it. He just apparently had to say something.
Well, because he has that he's doing his Earth shot thing this weekend, which you've probably never even heard of because no one cares about it.
I haven't.
So he's doing this big award show. See, this is what's funny. You haven't even heard about this.
Right.
I mean, there's going to be some big... Coldplay is performing.
Ooh.
He's giving away some prize of other people's money based on other... Like, he basically stole this idea, but it's going to be big in the UK, supposedly. Not really.
Yeah.
And so he just wanted to get out in front of it and be like, oh, billionaires shouldn't send people into space. Wah.
Yeah, other billionaires probably.
Other billionaires.
I mean, he's personally probably not a billionaire, but,
He's attached to a billionaire institution.
I said, if he really wanted to do his own little rocket thing, he could find financing, I'm sure, within the family.
Yeah. Which...
And to be fair, I don't pay as much attention as you do to all this stuff. And we have this little problem this week with democracy dying in America. So I've probably been thinking about other things.
No, I mean, that's true. But I would say if you took a cross section of like an average American, you are much more tuned in to this than somebody else, and you haven't heard of it.
Right, undoubtedly. So, and I mean, I scroll through Twitter with some regularity, and
all day.
And I have, not all day, but for regularly, and I haven't.
No, that's a little problematic for them.
Yeah.
Because as much as they whine, they very much want our media markets to be paying attention to what the royal family is doing, and they don't care. Unless it's to shit on Harry and Meghan.
Right. Yeah. I'm sure.
But then, okay, there's the tea portion of this conversation, which is, so I did actually a video yesterday. I hope you watched it. She did not watch it.
To me?
Yes.
I thought you were talking to your fans out there.
My fans! Oh my God.
I haven't watched it yet.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
anyway, Twitter about other stuff.
Oh my gosh. You were too busy reading about democracy dying then to watch her. It's not even that
Seems
long.
like when you weigh these things.
Oh my God. But anyway, all about royal travel and how it's ridiculous and it's ridiculously expensive. But this whole new thing, because private jets have always been, or chartered flights or whatever, have always been kind of a focus of very expensive royal travel. And they were used to bash Harry and Meghan over the head, even though they weren't even close to being the top offenders, but we all know how that goes. But there's this new thing with helicopter flights. And I know she's cringing. Okay, but there's a couple reasons why this has been brought into focus. Number one is they're generally for shorter trips that could not easily, but be accomplished by car. I mean, so royals are saving an hour or two in the car and instead taking a helicopter, often in between multiple houses, which ridiculous. So strike two, ridiculous. And the way they report, they're allowed to they're allowed to group flights, any flight under 15,000 pounds, together. So you don't know, like the big charter flights, who took it, where they went. But these smaller helicopter flights are all just grouped. We spent 600,000 pounds on helicopter flights this year. That's not the actual number.
Listening to flights under 15,000 pounds makes me laugh because, I mean, that's a lot of money just itself.
I know,
and that's the trivial amount.
That's the trivial amount.
Yeah.
But it basically means that they are able to hide kind of the particulars about who's going where and how often. But the whole big thing was last year during the pandemic, their bulk flights under 15K went up. So during the pandemic, they were using what we're going to assume are helicopters or but it's a pretty healthy assumption that they're helicopter flights in between homes because where were they going? It was a pandemic.
Right.
So
and there probably wasn't any traffic, so just drive.
Yeah. And so that kind of, I just think it's ridiculous that if you're charging.
Well, and this isn't their money. This is taxpayer money.
This is their money.
I mean, is that what we call them in Britain too?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Okay. It's public. It's not their money.
Yeah.
It's the people's
Except
money.
I think so. William and Kate were gifted an £8 million. See, I think we're talking about weight. We're not. We're talking about money. Helicopter back in 2014, and it was this whole big deal. The Queen, I think the Queen. I don't know how. I think maybe that was like her money to spend.
Yeah.
But then you have to deal with the maintenance and the blah 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 these.
Well, and there's the flight cost because you got to pay a pilot. You got to pay for.
Yeah. When you could just drive.
Right.
Relatively easily.
Yeah.
So, but the tea portion of this was the question of, especially last year, and we don't know this year yet, the report's not out, where were they like, why were they spending all this money flying in between homes during a pandemic?
Nothing better to do? I don't know.
I'm trying to lead you to water here, Mom. There's the tea that things are not well in a certain royal marriage.
Yeah.
And that was the assumption by a significant portion on Twitter, is that why are they spending all this time flying in between homes during a pandemic? Could it be that things are not well?
Could be.
Could be.
Could be.
Could be.
Could be.
That's all she's
probably never know.
Well, maybe we will.
Maybe
at some
we
point.
will.
Someone will write a book. But anyway, that was the.
I wish I had something good to write a book about.
I know. I don't know any secrets.
I know. Oh well.
We don't know any secrets. But okay, so anyway, he's getting roasted on Twitter, and he's actually trending under UK national news, not the royal family, which is what a lot of times they trend under. I also just want to laugh. All these photos are terrible. My tweet. Did you see my tweet this morning?
Yes,
that they have to hate.
I saw your tweet this morning.
They have to hate this man.
Do I get credit for that?
No, you don't get credit for that. But like, come on, you can't tell. Like,
yeah.
I mean, and this is the Washington. I mean, these aren't like little tiny outlets. This is the Washington Post.
Yeah. Well,
that they aren't shading him with that.
Yeah, I think they are. They clearly can pick. Well, maybe someone thought that was a good picture, but I don't know. I mean, I think they think maybe he looks happy in that, but
it's weird seeing him happy because he's perpetually like.
Well, I know maybe that's
angry.
I mean, maybe they're trying to sell the he's not angry. He's
all
not
the time
doing this out of some sort of bitter feud with his brother, and he loves his wife. That's supposed to convey all that. I think that's supposed to convey all those feelings.
It's a little unsettling because his eyes aren't smiling.
No, and it's goofy. I mean, but maybe that's just what he looks like.
I know. But the whole thing is, it's been kind of interesting because a lot of the comments, like a lot of the negative comments, aren't from like Squad. Like they aren't Sussex fans. Like we don't know these people. And as someone mentioned before, on Twitter, I'm going to blank on the username, like she's never seen this amount of kind of like, why are you being so hypocritical from non-Sussex? I mean,
I think the Andrew thing's doing a lot of damage to the royal family.
Oh, now we've switched gears to Andrew.
Well, no, but I mean, I think that's reflecting. I think they're all going to be criticized, all
criticized. But I also think that he's just totally kind of boxed himself in.
I mean, William tried to like extricate himself from that too. But I mean,
yeah.
I hate that guy.
Oh yeah, I hate that guy.
I mean,
yeah.
I think at least some of this is maybe a little bit less Harry and Meghan related and a little more, oh my God, we have to like stop talking about Andrew.
Well, yeah, I do. And I think he's just trying to also drum up attention for his award show this weekend that no one knows about.
Right.
But I also, like, he's really boxed in on the stuff that even non-royal followers will let him talk about. Because he tried to do this whole thing about, like, racism in sports. And everyone was like, excuse you, like, your sister-in-law got her ass kicked by your press and your family. Like... And so now he's on, and I think they just crossed the line. I mean, I think to a degree, everyone expects some hypocrisy from a royal family because just their very nature is hypocrisy. That's what they are as a thing. But I think between the Andrew thing and them just kind of, I mean, it's just ridiculous to come up here and be like, you should spend your money on helping people. When you're spending your money taking a helicopter flight so you don't have to drive an hour in a car.
To get away from your wife.
To get away from your wife. In a pandemic. Like,
and go to your other...
Like, I do. I think there's, like, a line.
And seriously, I don't think they have a... Do they have anywhere that they live that they couldn't pretty much avoid each other in the same location?
No. Well, so that was okay. I'm gonna scroll up to this tweet. You're not going.
Why do you have to go to a whole different place?
Unless, did I lose it? Oh my God.
Maybe there's
or that you're going somewhere else. Oh, I
Oh,
lost it. There was a tweet saying that he's visiting someone else.
Well, yeah, that you couldn't do in the same house.
Or maybe you could if she was willing.
Well, maybe. I mean.
But
Anyway.
But okay.
We're getting off topic.
Sorry.
I mean, this is supposed to be short.
Okay. But I think there's kind of general hypocrisy that people will accept, but I think they're kind of pushing it between Andrew and just being ridiculous. Like, just drive. 45 minutes, just drive. No, we're going to take this helicopter that you can't pay, like, you can't see, but you're going to pay for it. You know, like, I just think they are pushing it.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of, again, he's boxed himself in. It's stupid for him to draw attention to that. Yeah. And they're doing that with this climate change thing. Yeah. Because, again, he doesn't have the longevity his father has. Or his grandmother.
Well, and I think he's just not... I mean, I don't think he cares that much about it. And so I don't think he can convey that he cares that much about it. And I think there's got to be ways that people... I mean, obviously people who have money can still express thoughts about things that they really care about. Yes. And in ways where even if perhaps, like all of us, they sometimes act hypocritical, they can sort of address those things even head on sometimes. Yeah. And I think that's I think he has a sincerity problem on almost any of these, anything he wants to get up there and...
Yes. He doesn't...
Because it seems, I mean, it's clearly like he's just reactionary. He's just talking about what's in the news. He's not coming up with something on his own that, like, you know, here's what I want to talk about. Yeah. He's just reacting to news stories. And that doesn't, if that's what you do, that doesn't really scream sincerity. It just screams, I'm going to react to something and try and get some mileage out of it.
Well, they do. Both him and Kate just seem to kind of glob on to whatever thing. And it's just like there's so much going on with climate change and no one gives a shit about award shows anymore. Why, like, you pick a dated method of something that people are doing better.
Yeah.
It's just, there's a sincerity problem.
I think that's...
All right, Mom has to go to work.
Yeah.
Kelly, Mom Kelly.
Whatever my name.
Whatever your name is.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for... I'll see you tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. I haven't figured out what I'm doing my video on tomorrow. But we will be back next week, hopefully.
Have a good week, all.
Have a good week. Bye.